Hey, everybody, welcome back. I'm George. This is my incredibly talented wife, Jackie, and this is your end of month report. We're going to cover the month of January, and then we're going to look forward and see what's going to happen over the next couple of months as we start to get into the buying season. A lot going on. Very slow December, very slow January, and an incredibly slow 2024. It's going to get better, but we got some things to fix. So let's jump right into the big board. First thing we're going to look at, number of homes sold. All right, what you're going to notice is somewhere around April of 2024, we've seen the market continue to go down with the number of properties that have been sold. Now, there is a spike up, as you see, and that's the last one. That's on December of 3,062 homes that were sold. Now, what happens is we always clear out in December. We didn't last year. Actually, we did because these represent November. You'll notice that this November is actually the December sales. I actually did that backwards, and then it drops down to our January numbers. Same thing here. December sales in November. They drop down to our January, and then we have it here as well, but I corrected it now, so it's right. So let's get that through. Bottom line is sales have plummeted and continue to plummet. We are seeing record lows right now. But we all know that. We did that for the last couple, or really for the last 2 years. And even this last year, it was the lowest amount of sales that we've had in the United States in over 30 years. Now think about that. We've gotten a lot bigger, but we've had less real estate sales. Okay, take a deep breath. It's not the end of the world. We've got better things coming. Is there going to be a recession? I've said that for a little while. I think there is. I really do. It's going to be a short-lived one for the short cycle, and we'll come out of it pretty quickly if we see it at all. I hope I'm wrong. These lower sales have also affected our average sale price. All right, so as we turn to the average sale price board, you're going to see that this is actually down a little bit in January as well. The average sale price went from $471,000 at the end of December to $466,000. This is a good chance for us to take a look at what's going on the national market. So what we're looking at is the ReVenture app, and we're looking at the state of Florida. It's a little hard to see, but I'm going to have Joe do me a favor, put a number up there. It's 386,892. That is our average sale price statewide. Let's take a look at what that looks like when we go year over year. We have grown in value. Our home value has gone up 0.09%. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot, and that's not too much of a surprise with last year, but here's the good news for all of us that own homes in Florida, and the bad news for all of those that want to buy. The average growth in home values from 2020 to 2025 is 58.5%. So we've all done very well if we're homeowners, but what about if you're buying a home? And remember, if you're thinking of buying or selling, interest rates are going to come into play. Now, before we jump over to the big board, there's an article I wanted you to see. Unsold Florida housing is piling up in several cities. Florida's housing inventory is rising quickly, suggesting the state might be on the brink of turning into a buyer's market, according to some experts, myself included. But as prices remain high, they do, and mortgage rates are still hovering around 7%, they are, we'll get to that in just a minute, buyers remain reluctant. Shocker. And what we're looking at now is our days on the market graph. This is the number of days it's been on, a home is on the market before it receives a contract. Now, this is important. That's only for the properties that actually do receive contracts. Because as we just heard, inventory is piling up, so it is substantially unrepresentative of the hidden inventory. What we're most interested in is the right-hand side. You'll notice that on January, as of the end of January, we had 64 days of inventory for homes that went on the market. Now, that's not unheard of. It always goes up January and February because that's our slower months. That's just how it works. So don't panic on that. However, the more it goes, the more it becomes a buyer's market. By that, if there's more homes on the market and you're buying a home, you have more inventory at which to look from. Therefore, you get to be a little more aggressive. Now, here's the first tip. We bring this up all the time. If you're selling your home, please give us a call. We'd love to assist you in that. But more importantly, I want you to take a look at what is your competition. Now, decidedly, if you're in a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,800 square foot home as opposed to a 7-bedroom mansion, those aren't exactly the same. What is your market? If you were buying a property and you wanted to be usually within your school district or within your area, I want you to look at your competition. And I want you to say, okay, how does my home gauge to that? Is my home a better value? Your real estate agent should be able to tell you how long you've been on the market, how long the average home will sit on the market, how many homes are selling per month, what is your absorption rate. Think about it this way. There's 10 homes on the market and 2 homes sell per month. If 2 homes are selling per month and there's 10 homes on the market, you have a 5-month supply of property. So realistically, the first and best values, number 1 and number 2 best values will sell first. They'll be the first and second homes sold. And you can almost view what homes are going to sell in what order for the most part. This is what your real estate professional should be doing with you. If they're not, call us. We'll be glad to help. That's what we do. We can sell homes all over the state of Florida. But that's not the purpose. The purpose is to give you great information. Looking at this graph, I'm worried. I'm worried because we continue to creep up. I'm worried because of the inflation I just spoke of. I'm worried because of what's happening in the real estate market as a whole. But it won't be long term. So if you absolutely have to sell, be good at your game. Be really good at what you're doing. I'm still of the opinion that you should buy if you're interested in buying and living in Florida. Is it going to cost you more? 100% yes. But you know what? We've got beach and we've got weather, and those aren't going away, and people will always want to come here. There's a big argument to be had that, well, people will stop moving to Florida. No, they won't. And here's my support on why. More and more people are able to work remotely, regardless of what President Trump is saying about everybody coming back to work, but that's to get rid of bloat, in my opinion. But more and more people have that ability. More and more people are going to be working intellectually, and they can live wherever they want. This will become a very wealthy, meaning a lot of wealthy people will be calling Florida home. That is my personal opinion. Is our insurance too high? You damn skippy it is. But it just came down, which is kind of nice. I actually saved $2,000 a year on my car insurance. Big win, especially with her as a driver. Okay, the truth be told, I'm the bad driver. But I digress. Bottom line is, if you're going to buy a home, buy the best home. It turns out right now, if you're buying, you're able to pick from more homes, and you're also able to pick better valued properties. But you got to contend with something, and that's the next topic. But before we get to the interest rates and the affordability, Florida homeowners dropped prices by over 30%. Now, this article was specific to Tampa, and they spoke of it, but we're seeing that happen all over the place. There are a ton of price drops. In fact, let's go back to reventure.app. I strongly encourage you to get this if you're thinking of buying or selling your home. Let's take a look at what they have to show us. Again, this is reventure.app. I want to show you something about this because it really makes sense. If you're looking for metro information with them, you can absolutely get it. If you're looking for county information, and if you want to go to zip code, you can do that as well. I'm going to stay statewide, and I'll leave that up to the Reventure to do their reports. They do a lot of great reports. I am a huge advocate for them, and I get paid nothing. In fact, I pay them, $39 to be a premier member because I need all of the data. You're looking at some of the stuff I shouldn't really show you, but hopefully they'll let me slide on this. The price cut percentage, what you're looking at is 29.1% of the properties that are currently active on the market have received price cuts. Okay, but what does that mean? Well, if you had known exactly what it was last month, it was 28.3%. Then you would know, and the only way you're going to do that is by starting to accumulate data as you're buying and selling. We do this for you, but if you're doing it your own or you're doing it with another agent, make sure you're doing it. If you had known that more and more prices are dropping, there's more and more motivation in the sellers. That's just how it works. If you're selling a home, you want to look at your inventory. How many homes are on the market? What's in the market in my zip code? What's my local competition look like? Okay, these are all the strategies you're going to have to put into place because we're talking about your money. So fast forward 30 seconds for anybody who's bored with this scenario, but I want to explain it because it's something Jackie and I are huge proponents of. Remember, we just showed you that you receive 50% more. Your home value has increased 50% in the last 5 years. That is terrific. Okay. If you bought your home and you bought it for, I'm going to use round numbers, $500,000, and then it's worth, let's say, $1 million. Okay, that's if the market wasn't, kind of stabilizing. $900,000. You have $400,000 in equity. Okay, you want to be dead on with your pricing because if you have to drop it $40,000, that's 10% of what you worked for the last 5 years. It actually matters where you price it, your strategy, because if you're on the market too long, buyers are going to know that you have room to move. You don't have a choice because it's been proven not to have sold. And this is part FOMO, fear of missing out, part I want to get it before somebody else does. Think about estate sales or auctions. They put it out there and everybody bids right away. You don't get 3 or 4 days to look and kick the tires. You got to go real quick. So when you're selling your property, make sure it hits the market perfect. Perfect price, perfect everything, aggressive, but not too aggressive, but definitely not too high, especially in a declining market. All right, those are all the tips. So you can basically just skip to the end at this point. Do hit the like and subscribe button. It would mean the world to Jackie and myself. And let us know if you have any questions. Just put them in the comments. We promise we'll answer them for you. Let's move to the last one. I'm not going to beat this one up too much. The interest rates are 7.05. Yes, that is absolutely higher than you'll probably end up paying. Right now, when you're buying or when you're getting your interest rates, you're going to have to purchase probably a 1 point purchase of that. And you may want to consider doing a buy down of 1% or a 2-1 buy down, which is a 2% buy down, then a 1% buy down. It costs you a little. You can probably get the seller to help you. Just a suggestion. Sellers, be aware that's not a bad way to make your home more attractive to include it. If you want more information on that, let me know. Bottom line is interest rates are still high. How do we fix that? A robust economy. Unfortunately, interest rates affect this, and this is the most important. This is affordability. I've used Orlando for all of these graphs. We've had that for Venture. You get statewide, and we're in almost every MLS. So if you have some specific questions, you need some assistance, let us know. We work all over the state. Bottom line is, our current market, we're at 53.15%. Do you see this line? This is the 50% line. Anything over that, which has basically been the last 2 years, is not good. So what is the 50% line? If you took your your debt, what you have to pay every single month, it cannot be more than 50% of what your average income is. Now, for us, for this equation, we use a household making $100,000. If you're making more, the percentage of your household income is going to be lower on your mortgage. Now, remember, if you got a car loan, something like that, that adds to it as well because it's compounded all of your debt. Figured out what you owe on a monthly basis. That's what figures out your mortgage ability. Suffice to say, come January of 2023, everything kind of hit the floor. At this point, this is where we stopped being affordable. I did change how I looked at it and I tried to give it a little more basis, but the bottom line is we are way too high as far as affordability, how much we make in Florida. Yes, wealthy people are moving in and can afford more, but for all of us right now, right here, not a couple years down the road, is our house is going to keep going up in value? Yes, they will over the course of 10 years. You better believe they will because it's Florida. But what does that mean right now? It means that buyers can't afford the market, that the interest rates are really the effect because we haven't seen a great price increase. We haven't seen anything happen except our interest rates have stayed too high. So, America, keep working. The more you work, the more money that goes in your pocket, that will solve this problem. But it's not going to happen overnight. All right. I'm George. That is my incredibly talented wife, Jackie. Thank you for being with us. We'll see you very soon. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and put a comment down below. I'll be glad to answer it for you. Talk to you soon. Bye now.